What is up, everybody? My name is Deon Jackson. Welcome to Geeks Around. We are a little bit late today, completely my fault. I apologize about that, but we are here discussing the latest episode of Arrow, Cortor Martiz. This was a okay episode. It had some issues. I'll get into that later, but it's like joining me as always, our producer and lead host, Matt Moore. What's going on, buddy?
Not a whole lot. I kind of enjoyed this episode, but apparently he had issues, but we'll get into that.
Guess so. Community manager Knuckles Goldberg, man, what's up?
What's up? I thought it was okay. Not their strongest episode, but not awful.
Yeah, not awful at all. It's like I did overall enjoy it. Andy, how's it going? What'd you think of this one?
First of all, what's up, Arrowhead? And secondly, I enjoyed this episode a lot. More John Barrowman. That's always good. And I liked the new setting also. That it wasn't just in Starting City this week. It was actually somewhere else. Hence the title.
Exactly. Charles, your thoughts?
I was indifferent towards the whole thing. I mean, for the most part, I was like, oh, that was interesting. Okay, moving on. That was interesting. Okay, that was moving on. The stuff that I probably enjoyed the most was the scenes between Thea and Malcolm Merlyn. That's what I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Could have used a bit more of those. Isaiah, what do you think?
Okay, let me start with this now. I was very tired to watch the show, and
what else is new?
I know. I put it on mute. I still listen. I still watch the mouth movements. Like, okay. Anyways,
it's the subtitles is not watching it.
Yes, it is. Shut the fuck up. I'm reading. Anyways, I mean, I don't hate the episode. I just thought it was very predictable, and it was very predictable.
We apologize to our deaf viewers.
But they can't hear us.
That's the point.
Oh, okay. Well, haven't you been saying? Never mind.
I don't know.
I'm tired. Haven't you been saying for the past 3 weeks that the Arrow's been predictable every time? It's like.
Yeah. It's actually kind of getting a little old, to be honest.
Oh, too damn bad. You gotta get used to me.
Isaiah, I've been used to you for the past 2 years, so...
I know, right? How's the marriage going, Charles? Exactly. Thank you.
Well, alrighty then. It's like I don't know what these kids are talking about today. It's like they on some madness, like they kind of usually are, but we're just gonna skip on in. And
it's their own CW drama.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna skip over their little marriage dramas, like whatever the hell's going on there, and let's go ahead and talk some Arrow. Now, this episode is like we have. Essentially, of course, everyone going off because it's time for Thea to come home, and it's like she has been missing from the show for a couple of episodes now ever since she left with her father, Malcolm Merlyn, in last season's finale, and this is the first time we've really seen her character since then. It's like, and I have to say, I like what they have done with her characters. Like, they've made her actually useful and not exactly so irritating.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of think it was time for her to come back as well. She's been gone a few episodes, and if this had been old Thea, her coming back would of course been very frustrating, very But new Thea, I think there's some storyline gonna happen for her that's not gonna piss us off.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add that I always enjoy. Sorry for interrupting you, but I always enjoyed Thea since season 1 because, like, first of all, I like Willa Hahn. I think she's a very fun and cool actress, and I was able to relate to her a little bit in season 1 of Arrow. Not the drug issues, but teenage drama, and but I like where she is now. That there's no drugs, no over drama with her parents, or with Oliver. Or with Roy, she's much more mature, and some people have been saying that she's gonna be dark, she's gonna be evil, but no, I think this is just Thea's way of growing up.
I agree. It's like I think she's been through a whole hell of a lot more than most people have, or would have. Is like, of course, Oliver, went through the death of his father, but it's like in the midst of that, it's like he had all of this training to build him up into this warrior. So it's like, he was pretty prepared to deal with what happened to his mother than, of course, Thea was at that particular standpoint. Thea made the decision, it's like, as she told her father in this episode, that she did not ever want to be in a position like that again, where people could hurt her and take things away from her. It's like she's put herself, she's given herself the tools that she can use to prevent that.
Yeah, and asking to be strong. That's not really, that's not really being evil. So, like I said, I've seen a lot of people say that, oh, she's gonna become evil, dark speedy and whatever. But it's like, no, a lot of people on television and movies, they has to be, they want to be strong, they want to be invulnerable. So that's not really dark. That's just, a goal, I think.
Dark Speedy. That's awesome.
Well, that yeah. But did you guys notice that there was a little Speedy Easter egg when they called her Mia? Because in the comic books, Speedy's real name is Mia Derderen, and Derderen is her middle name, and now she went by Mia, so it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool nod for people that know what's what. And it's like, before we even get into anything else, it's like, I mentioned earlier there were some things in this episode that didn't work for me, so I was like, I'm just going to start jumping into that. You had kind of, how to put it, basically everything that was Diggle related, Diggle's whole reason for being on the island and whatnot, none of that worked for me. It's like, I would have rather have seen more flashback scenes of Malcolm and Thea, or just more even of even more things that Felicity was going through back in the city, or that Laura was going through. That would have been far more interesting to me than this almost like a side quest in the middle of this thing. It's like, oh, since we're here, I guess we'll stop this, deal from going down, whatever. Yeah.
I agree.
Just to give something to do. It was just kind of disjointed to me, and it really didn't fit, in my opinion, with the theme of everything else that was going on in this episode. I could have done completely without that storyline.
I have to defend that particular storyline because it did not fit with the rest of it. However, it felt like it was starting a new storyline, a new ongoing storyline about how evil Argus is and how bad. I mean, we already know she's evil, but just how evil Amanda Waller is. And
so weren't we already going into that with all the flashbacks with in Oliver's previous dealings with her?
Well, that's just it. Is I think that they're really just going back to that particular well, as it were. And they're showing us that, and they're showing that it is still the case, just like it was the case back then.
Perhaps. I guess I can kind of see that. It didn't fit for me. It just didn't. I would have much rather seen more of the other stuff. That's the only thing that to me did not work in this episode.
It makes me wonder whether or not Argus is going to be an ongoing evil entity, or evil entity think it's doing good, or if it is going to be a big bad this season or next season.
Well, with Lila being involved and so on, I think Argus is pretty much a big set piece too. Maybe not this season because Ra's al Ghul is pretty much as far as we know, the big bad of the season. But I like that Argus is kind of in the background, and that they're kind of like the opposite of what Shield is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That they're this organization, but they do bad things. I agree with Yana that in the whole thing with Diggle, and first of all, I want them to get Diggle some better storylines. And this guy, and they made a big deal about him because in the comic books, Mark Shaw is Manhunter. So it's like, I was like, that was it. I was like, come on, you can do. It's like I didn't care for it, and like Diana said, I would have preferred to have seen something with Felicity, more with Felicity perhaps, or more with Laurel, who's becoming such a better character throughout this season so far. So it's like, he felt like oh, we don't know what to do with Diggle. Let's just send him with Oliver and do this BS mission.
Agreed. It's because it's not like I have any issues with the storyline itself. I mean, it's like I was fine with it itself. It's just I don't feel that it had to happen in this particular episode. It's like, I mean, it would have been better served in another setting, like another Diggle specific episode, like Suicide Squad was back last season. It's like I enjoyed that. I mean, that was a very Diggle-centric episode. It's like if they wanted to do something like that, make it Diggle-centric. Don't have all of these other things going on there. It's like, just let me concentrate on that particular story if that's what you're going to want to do. When this one was like, I felt that thematically it was so different from everything else that was going on that it was just kind of disjointed to me. Why is everyone adjusting their headsets all of a sudden? You guys supposed to do that before the show, not during. What the hell's wrong with you?
Since you went on the tangent, that gives me the opportunity to jump in. Something that I also found disjointing is that and this happened twice, where you'd have situation where Oliver's talking to Thea or something like that in Corto Maltese, and then jump to him again in another situation with Diggle, as if no time passed. And it was just like, I don't know, that kind of made it feel very shoot in as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. There were some sort of issues. There was like a kind of jumpy, bad cuts, basically.
Yeah.
They could have done better transitional cuts, but that's just something we notice, gang, because we watch a hell of a lot of TV. So little things like that are probably going to bug us more than they'll bug, most viewers. But yeah, it would stand out to us.
But what other issues did you have with the episode, Yano?
No, that was my only real issue. It's like past that, it's like I really liked this episode. I liked seeing Laurel go out there and try to honor her sister. That first fight as her version of the Black Canary did not exactly turn out great for her.
But that was I mean, that's the thing that this is gonna sound so awful, but I want to see her fail first before she becomes, the woman that she's supposed to become. I want to see her actually make mishaps.
Yeah.
Because like on the island with Oliver, we saw him. The first season, he was an awful archer. He was a bitchy little winehead who was like, I want to go home. I'm hungry. I want this. And I have a bad wig. I mean hair. And
yeah, he's basically a white rich version of Isaiah.
No. No one can beat awful.
I was gonna say Isaiah's been strangely quiet this particular hangout, and I'm okay with that.
Me too. It gives me, I'm
It's
able to
actually
breathe.
it's actually quite soothing, to be honest, and relaxing.
Yeah. So
But
let's
it's
keep on going.
weird.
Yeah.
But can we talk about the Ted Grant?
Yes, absolutely.
I dig this version a lot. I know that in the comics he is, he's old and he's just a society member and so on. But look, I don't care. I like this actor. I like that he is training Laurel, and that he was. I was talking to my sister and about it, and she said I liked him a lot because he felt like an average man. That he wasn't this hyper, hyper super dude or whatever who was super rich. He had a great job. He felt like very down to earth, and I kind of liked it, having someone like that will actually train Laurel to become the Canary.
Yeah.
Well, I only know about Wildcat from that famous Absolute Justice two-part episode of Smallville where they introduced the Justice Society of America. I only know about him because he wasn't in the episode, but he was in the painting on the wall at the museum. And they kind of focused on him for a bit, and that's how I found out about him. So beyond that, I don't know much about him. All I know is that he had a suit that looked like a cat, and that he was a boxer. That's pretty much all I knew. But in this episode, I don't think he was in it enough. I think that he didn't have enough scenes in this episode. And during how few scenes he was in, it just didn't give me enough information. All I really know is that this guy, Ted Grant, is Wildcat and that he's going to train Laurel Lance. Beyond that, I barely know anything about him. I am remaining open-minded to where his character will go, but at this current point, I am completely clueless.
Well, yeah, about most things, but what about the show?
Well, I walked into that one.
Yeah, you did. But no, it's like Charles. I think that's actually a pretty good place for you to be. It's like not knowing who this character is, so that way you don't have any of the preconceived notions in your head about what you're expecting this guy to do. It's like you can just kind of watch it and make your own judgments.
Yeah, well, I don't hate the guy. I don't know anything about him. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting if she ends up getting him into vigilantism, even though he's training her. I think that would be actually kind of awesome.
Are you going to use that as your speculation?
I guess it's my mini speculation. Yeah. I think it would be cool if a cat and a bird were running around fighting crime.
I would actually like to see that too. Although I think that there's something to this guy. I would not be surprised if he's actually already a vigilante. But if he is, we haven't heard about him yet in Starting Setting.
That would be kind of interesting.
I had to step away for a second, but are you guys talking about Laurel, right?
Well, just kind of talk about everything. If you have something to say about Laurel, just go ahead, just jump in.
Oh yeah, I feel like when Andrea died in Walking Dead, I was overjoyed to see her get the crap beat out of her last night.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, that was a bit morbid.
Really.
Charles beat Knuckles.
Yeah, hit that bitch. Hit her again. Yeah.
Because
Listen, there are some female characters on shows that you just love to see when bad stuff happens to them.
Oh, I know. I agree. There's been several
Andrea
shows.
was one on Walking Dead, and Laurel's that on this show.
And the Penguin's the one on Gotham.
oh, so you're saying he's a girl now?
All right,
Yes, that's exactly
I'm gonna admit something to y'all. I've stopped watching Gotham.
Really?
Yeah, same here.
I lost interest in it. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
I'm like
2 episodes behind, and I
You
don't know.
made Isaiah dance now.
yeah, exactly.
I was right.
So, it's like I just.
I mean, I know I usually try to keep shows till I like to stay with shows until the 5th episode. Yeah, I can't even watch the 5th episode. I just don't have enough interest. I'm out. I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done with Gotham. But anywho, back to Arrow.
I'm giving it a full season.
You
I enjoy it,
are
so
a
screw
great
you all.
fan.
It's like I'll probably eventually get back into it and see what's what, but it's gonna be a while. There's too many other good TV shows coming back on. I mean, I got Grimm's coming back on TV tomorrow. It's like I'd rather
Oh,
watch that.
fuck. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
And tomorrow Constantine begins.
Can't wait for the
yeah. I'll get right on watching that one too. Yeah, totally.
I'm gonna watch the pilot.
Constantine.
That's it. I'm gonna watch the pilot and see how it is.
Yeah, I'll probably do that too. I'll absolutely watch the pilot.
Wow, I bring in Constantine and everyone starts laughing. I don't like the pilot is good.
If you say so. It's like that sounds like something to we might go over in a little bit more detail on the conclave. Not sure when the next one of those are, but yeah, it'll be a fun discussion.
I'm pretty sure you will enjoy Constantine better than Gotham.
We'll see. Hey, how about Arrow?
Yes.
Yeah. Getting back to that.
No, let's talk about tires instead.
That's
It's
my
like
joke,
that.
sir.
I actually agree with y'all from earlier. It's like seeing Laurel, go through all these and kind of slowly becoming whatever it is that she's going to become. This first outing, like I said earlier, did not go very well for her, and I do consider that a good thing. And that's why, honestly, it's like I also would have wanted to see more of the flashback scenes from Thea and Malcolm. I hope we get to see more of those, perhaps in the future. It's like I really wouldn't mind a completely Thea and Merlin centric episode where it was just where they just cover all the things that they've been through in the time that they've been away from Starling City. I personally get a kick out of that because it's one thing just seeing. It's like, I mean, someone's like, okay, I'm here and I'm a badass now. It's like you kind of like to see that story. It's like what made them who they are. I mean, that's what made Arrow so good. It's like because we saw him being the badass that he became, but we also saw, step by step, from all the flashback scenes, how he built up to that, and back when he was nowhere near that.
Visual triumphs, exposition.
Mm-hmm.
But you will get that kind of episode.
Sorry, what?
I was gonna say that, that I'm pretty sure you're gonna get that kind of episode. I think actually pretty soon. I would not be surprised if that is actually like something we see in like in episode 7 or 9 or, well, like I'm sure Malcolm has a big role this season, so there's gonna be lots of good stuff.
I was well. First off, I just have to say I was a little surprised that they didn't do a crossover because those scenes with Diggle were in such a manner that I was almost expecting Malcolm Merlin to actually be on that Jeep that rolled up to do the buy. I was hoping that there would be a crossover between those two storylines, but there wasn't. But with Thea, I'm surprised that she didn't actually get called on it, like right there in the airport by Oliver. Oliver didn't go, hey, wait a second, you just had a cup of boiling hot coffee on your hand, and you didn't even flinch. Like, what the fuck?
Which I thought was pretty badass. So, is he okay? No, I'm cool. I'm just wet. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm badass now. Nothing can hurt me, bitch.
And that's something else that happened in the episode, or I should say, didn't happen in the episode that I was really expecting was when he was talking to Thea. He's all like, okay, so I'm gonna reveal a secret to you, and he did not reveal the big secret. I was totally expecting her to go, oh, so you're not gonna tell me your arrow? All right, it's good to know you weren't gonna let me know that.
Yeah, it's like, and that's an interesting point because, of course, Malcolm is very well aware that he's there. I was like, I am actually kind of curious whether or not during their little sabbatical in Corto Maltese, whether or not he might have let slide that information to Thea.
Yeah, because that would have been one heck of a weapon, as it were. To probably be the best weapon he has in his arsenal.
Well, see, that's what I was gonna say. I think he's saving that card for later when he is about to lose her. He's gonna use it against Oliver and pull her back in, or think that he's gonna be able to pull her back in. So I think
I agree with that.
Yeah, because Malcolm Earl, he's a smart man. He knows how he's good with manipulation. So I think he's saving that. But
well, that's just it. Is that something that you can't really do with Thea? We already know this. To keep a secret from Thea is as bad as the secret itself. We know this from her hating Oliver so long for knowing that he was her father. Yeah. And like it was his fault that somehow he was Thea's father, even though he had nothing to do with it. But the mere fact that he knew is a sin in Thea's eyes.
But I think you could be more pissed with Oliver. Like, let's say there's a scene there where Malcolm tells her that, oh, Oliver is the arrow. She's gonna be more upset with Oliver because then she will find out that, oh my God, my big brother is a murderer. He killed over a bunch of people, X amount of years ago. So I think she's gonna kind of almost forget that my real dad knew this thing the whole time.
That would be rather irrational even for her because
she forgave her mom.
Murder over the murder.
Yeah, she forgave her mom who killed a couple hundred people.
Ah.
Yeah, and she very clearly forgave her dad, who was the mastermind behind that whole killing a couple hundred people, and her stepfather, and
well, that's the thing. I asked when I talked to
Tommy Merlin, and
well, see, that's the thing. Like, when I asked her that specific question, like at Comic-Con, so she just forgave him, and I think she said something in form of, right now she just wants some family that she can trust. She wants someone that she can actually get the truth from. So I don't think she's quite forgiven him for that. I don't think she ever will, but it's something that she is not really giving too much focus on. But I don't think she's forgiven him at all at this point.
What? Who? Her father?
Yeah.
Okay. Perhaps not. But hey, it's like training her to be the badass that she is now. It's like got to go a long way towards that.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's I wonder where she's going to focus with that. If she is going to end up becoming Speedy, if she's going to be part of the Arrow crew, or she's just going to do something mundane like become a cop, like the most kick-ass cop out there.
I think she's going to become Speedy.
Yeah, not a cop. I don't think so.
Yeah. Cops aren't usually that good with the sword. I think she kind of likes her sword. And I think she's going to continue to try to go with that. So we'll definitely have to see how it plays out.
Can we talk about that final scene yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, of course, it ends up with, right at the end, Nissa Al Ghul magically appears in the Arrow Cave, and she really wants to see Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting for several reasons. It's like she's asking to see Sarah, so she doesn't know that she's dead.
Yeah, clearly. Exactly. She doesn't know that she's dead, and it means that the League of Assassins is not responsible for her death.
Exactly.
Well, there goes my speculation.
I mean, is she really in the know when it comes to Ra's al Ghul? After all,
it's a father,
she's
so
his daughter.
Yeah, but still, there might be someone who went rogue in the League of Assassins.
Yeah, that is a possibility, and it's like
that's a possibility of suicide. You don't do that in the League of Assassins. That's what gets you killed.
Or it could have been Merlin.
I don't know. I really
Well,
don't. I don't think it was Merlin. There's no
Yeah.
reason for it so far.
I don't think so either. But it's like we are kind of running out of baddies that are good at shooting arrows into people.
Yeah.
By the way, here's a quick question. We had some Ray Palmer action in this episode. There's that scene where he's looking at some files or whatever. What do you think that's all about?
Those were very distinctly advanced weapons. There was a drone in there. There was like a tank, an armored vehicle in there. I was expecting there to be some sort of miniaturation device or something like that, but there wasn't.
Well, who knows? Maybe he doesn't become the Atom in this universe.
Your mom becomes the Atom in this universe.
Oh, good God.
And she will still kick your ass.
Oh.
And with that, we're just going to go ahead and kick it in wild speculation time. Y'all got anything? Charles, you got something? Say it now. You'll forget it. Say it.
He was about to
to be honest, it's not really much speculation, but a question for the panel. Do you think Oliver and Malcolm, that Oliver's going to find out that Malcolm is still alive?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, inevitably.
Okay. All right. Then I guess my speculation to that would be that they're going to kick the crap out of each other again. Only this time Oliver's he's gonna fail at killing him again, and Malcolm's gonna get away to fight another day. And that's the best I got right now.
I actually have the opposite speculation. I was thinking during the episode, I was thinking, you know what? They're going to see each other. They're going to meet. They're going to point arrows at each other. And then Thea's going to work out a little, at least temporary truce going towards a common goal. I'm thinking that Merlin may not necessarily be a truly bad guy this season.
I actually kind of agree with that. Especially knowing who the villain is. The villain is, of course, going to be Ra's al Ghul, and there's no way Ollie's going to be able to handle that on his own. It's like even with his little team. Him and Malcolm might have to team up for this one.
See,
I think
that's
that's
right there.
Yeah, or something. It's like, but here's the question: is when do you guys think it'll get to that point? It's like I don't honestly think that we'll see Roz until the mid-season break, until after that.
I'm not gonna give an answer to that because I'm afraid what I may say.
Well, I was actually about to ask that. Like, what episode was Ra's al Ghul supposed to be introduced in?
It's not like they didn't exactly announce that.
Well.
All right. Anyone else have wild speculation before Andy explodes?
No, I don't have a speculation. I just have the answer to that question, but I don't want to ruin it.
All right.
Okay, suit yourself.
Charles, cover
Well, do you want me to say?
Is it released in the normal news media?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it then.
Next week.
There you go.
Ra's al Ghul is supposed to be showing up in next week's episode?
Well, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I don't think we'll see a lot of him, but we are gonna get to see him.
I don't care if he's only in the episode for like 33 seconds. All I want to see.
Oh, what if it's 31 seconds, dude?
I don't care.
What about 29 seconds?
What about 29.5.53?
What?
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
I know.
I may not be good at math, but I know that's not a thing.
Okay, but how about this? If it's 30 seconds, but you hate what you see in the 30 seconds, are you going to be upset then?
What if it's just a 30-second shot of his left knee?
Well, that I'd be pissed at. I want to see his face.
Didn't that work for Inspector Gadget?
God damn it.
Dr. Claw?
Well, that's because the whole point was his claws, so, yeah. But no.
But oddly enough, it wasn't a claw. It was just a hand.
I don't care how long he's in the episode. All I want to see is him in all his glory. I want to see his face.
Oh, no, you want to see him naked?
No.
Yeah, I was like, he wants to see him in all his glory. What the fuck?
You
What
only
kind
do
of show do
have.
you think this
True,
is?
oh, true.
I am talking about like his outfit, like his robes
He
and
wants to see him
armor and all
naked
that.
on a stripper pole. That's how he wants to see him.
Shut up, Isaiah.
Throwing dolls at him. Make it rain.
Well, if anyone wants a little preview of Ra's al Ghul for next week's episode, check out the trailer for those 30 seconds where you can see some glimpses of him.
I'm good.
Yeah, no, but don't worry.
I will check it out on YouTube after this is over.
Don't whack off,
Those blasted things. So yeah, see, that's why I specifically don't watch the little trailers and whatnot. Is I think of it way too much. I like coming into episodes blind. Much more fun that way. But hey, if there's no more wild speculation, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Arrows discussions. If you like what we do here, go ahead and give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video so that others can see the madness and all of its glory. Ain't that right, Charlie? Also, don't forget to visit us at geeksaround.com. Subscribe youtube.com/geeksaround. Join the Geeks Around community. The link for that is down in the description for this video. My name is Deanna Jackson, and we will see you next week.